Family lawyers say more people are reaching out to them to ask for a divorce than ever before. At Schulman & Partners LLP, they say they've seen a 40% increase in the number of people looking to separate compared to before the pandemic began. Laura Paris is a family lawyer with the firm, and she joins me now. Laura, thank you for being here. Talk to me about the main reasons clients are coming to you right now.
So what you're noticing with the influx of clients that we're having now is that there was a lot of pre-existing issues that they had in their relationship prior to COVID. Once the pandemic started, whether it be due to the fact that they were confined to the home together or due to the fact that there was job loss or other financial strains, this has now exacerbated pre-existing issues in relationships, and people are reaching the point where they're now seriously considering a separation.
Now, let's get into it a little bit, get into the weeds. Dividing assets, income, home prices, all of these things are in flux right now. How are you approaching those problems, the notion of dividing assets, when the value of those assets and the amount of money people actually have is changing so quickly and day to day?
So it's actually become quite difficult, particularly for those who separated prior to the pandemic and have a lot of assets in a volatile market. So whether it be in the stock market or that their home price has taken quite a hit. The issue is that when you are a separating spouse, you're dealing with division of assets, and we divide assets as of the date of separation. So for example, someone who had maybe $100,000 in the stock market as of January 1st of this year, maybe by April 1st, they didn't have that same financial picture. And that's where we're having some difficulties, because these individuals are being expected to pay a certain amount of money based on money that they had 4 months ago, but doesn't currently exist now. So it's definitely creating some difficulties that, it's calling on us as lawyers and the courts to, use discretion and basically take kind of a reasonability approach to, what's fair.
Laura, does the reasonability approach apply when job losses may be affecting pre-existing settlement costs like child support?
Absolutely. So if there has been a job loss of sorts, or a cut down of wages, or whatever it may be, the court is definitely taking that into consideration in terms of either temporary suspensions or temporary cut downs of how much you're paying. So maybe it's a temporary reduction of the support that you're paying.
And how are you dealing with cases where parents may be taking different approaches in the way they look after and care for their children during the pandemic?
Again, you're coming back to this reasonability approach. You really have to look at it and have to think, are we legitimately concerned about the well-being of our children, or are we doing this because it's another way to get back at a spouse? And that's kind of the approach that we're taking as lawyers too. Is there a legitimate concern? Do you believe that they're not following proper COVID protocols, and can you prove it? Because if you can't, nobody is going to really give you the time of day, and what they're going to tell you to do is try and figure it out.
We've got we've got a story we're watching for 9:30 where a judge is going to be delivering his judgment over YouTube. People are protesting outside an empty courtroom, and it occurs to me you probably don't have access to the same levers of justice at the same speed that you did before COVID. How frustrating is that for your clients?
It does become quite frustrating, for sure. I mean, the court is always kind of our backhand. As lawyers, we get our strength from the courts. We don't make decisions. The courts make decisions for us. So not having that resource to be able to say, okay, we can't agree, so now we have to get a judge to decide, so readily available, is definitely frustrating. Now, courts are open for limited operations on urgent matters, and every jurisdiction has a bit of a different way of dealing with it. But really what it's done, what I've noticed from the pandemic, is that it's called on our profession to start taking off the kind of advocacy hat and putting on our negotiations hat and mediations hat, and trying to actually find these solutions for our clients without having to go through the court process.
Hey, Laura Paris, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.